I don't actually care what non-white people think about whether I'm a white supremacist or not. Supremacist, bro. Oh, you're not a... What if I am? Then what? Okay, what if I am a white supremacist? Now what? Now what? We're being genocided in our own country. No one's got nothing to say about that. Ever. Even the white people have nothing to say about it. Even Tucker Carlson says it's got nothing to do with race. It's about voting rights. No, it is about race. It's about our white skin. It's about the fact that we sailed across the world. We went to the moon. We built rocket ships. We did the Industrial Revolution.
There you have our buddy, Nick Fuentes. Many of you have seen that video clip before, and if you haven't seen it, this guy's a white nationalist, Christian nationalist. I hate to use the word Christian because he's far from Christian, but he's upset, as you saw in that clip, about saying about the white race becoming extinct, basically under attack, because he don't like change in society, none of it at all. And all of this change is driving him nuts. And there's a new clip I'm going to show you guys where he's so upset with JD.Vance's Thanksgiving picture with his wife's family, because they're from, I think, India or Pakistan, one of the two. But she's not white, and he don't like it. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But for those of you that are new or just come across my channel and things, I need to show you that this guy professes to be a Christian, and you need to see this.
That is precisely what we intend to do, is to impose Christian laws on everyone in the United States of America. That is what we have to do as Christians. We have to make sure that, like the moon reflects the sun, the state reflects the church. We have to make sure.
And as you see there, he talks all of these things, but as we always have talked about here, it's a Taliban. You have basically a movement of the Christian Taliban in America right now. And these are racist folks, in reality, that are hiding behind the title Christianity. And you know, many of you that's been watching me for a minute, we talked about Edgar Ray Killen, the guy that killed the civil rights workers and things like that. And I said his spirit still lives on today within the churches. And unfortunately, I mean, it's coming in all shapes and forms. And yes, there's some black pastors out there that is just as racist and or subscribing, going right along with these folks. And there's a word for them, but we're not going to say it here on YouTube. But most of you know that these types of people, they're out there. And these folks are hiding behind the banner of Christianity and going about a Taliban-style mindset in society. And they don't like any type of change going on. They don't like that there's the fact that minorities and different peoples of color, the society that is ever changing. And I thought about this. I was talking about this to my wife there. That was a little while back. And I was saying, if it wasn't for Clarence Thomas being married to probably a white woman and some of these, a few others and things like that. But I don't know, Clarence Thomas' time is coming to an end on that Supreme Court, sooner than later. And I believe that interracial marriage, with the way this group is, and these folks that are masquerading as Christians, but in actuality they're racist and they have hateful hearts, I believe interracial marriage will be back up into that. They will somehow try to turn that at some point, because people like JD.Vance and them, there's a whole lot of people outraged, and you got to see it during this whole election cycle with some of these Christians and within some of these churches. You got to see people for who they truly were. And their racist hearts were exposed because some of the things that they were saying, some of the things that they were doing, and no one said anything. In the churches, Christians and certain evangelicals and everything, they just sat back and let it just play out. And, and some of these people, before I show you the clip, some of these racist people, that you don't even know it. They're smiling on camera, making videos, teaching Bible stuff, giving you this or that. Some of them call themselves prophets and all of that. But they're actually racist. They're actually really racist in things. And how? How do you know? You have to have discernment to be able to pick out some of these things. One of these things is some of these people, look who they hang out with. Look at the company that they keep. And you will see. Just follow the links. And why are you associating? I got a video because there's some people that I want to talk about. Why are you associating with these types of people if you call yourself a great, someone spokesman for God? And this is what is happening. So JD.Vance on this Thanksgiving photo that Nick Fuentes is upset. This photo with JD.Vance and the family and everybody. Let's take a look.
Can you imagine a country where this is Thanksgiving? Can you imagine if your children got married into a family like this and this was your Thanksgiving? What if you didn't have a lot of family? I don't have a lot of family. And what if your spouse or your children had a background like this? Your children got married into a family like this, or you married into a family like this, and this was your Thanksgiving every year. This was your Thanksgiving. This was your Christmas Eve. Maybe there isn't even a Christmas. Certainly if there is, there's no Mass. Certainly there's no Easter. Imagine if these are your holidays, these are your people, this is your community. Could you imagine how that would feel as a white person? How would it feel as a white person to be the only white face at the party, to be the only native English speaker, to be the only person with generations in a particular city? What would that feel like? What would that be like? To be the outsider, to be the alien, to be the other in your own country, on your own holiday.
You see that? You see that? And this is the same thing. Well, I'm going to show you the next clip of when many of you seen it during when Nikki Haley was running and was still in the primary. Nick Fuentes made a specific video about her talking the same type thing and stuff. And there's a little foul language in there, so I want to warn you. I just want to play that for you because some of you may have never seen this. So take a look.
Pick your first family. Would you like a woman president? I want a female president with a black son-in-law and some manlet, bald cuck husband versus the God Emperor of mankind and the son, Alexander. You take your pick. You tell me which one you'd prefer. Is it a little bit racist? Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. She openly loves her husband, Joshua Jackson. I loves me some Joshua Jackson. He my partner. He my man. He my husband. He a good father. He a good daddy to the children. Really? This is the first family? What a fucking nightmare.
And you see that? Him talking, he don't like the mixture. He thinks that, he told you at the beginning of the video that he's a racist. So he's out in the open with his racism and trying to hide behind the banner of Christianity. But there's a whole lot of people, buddy. There's a whole lot of them that it's not verbally said, but their actions have shown otherwise and things like that. As you see this guy, look at this clip of this, what we call a white nationalist. Listen to what he said. Listen to the whole message here. It's a very short clip. Listen to the end. Listen.
I was delighted that Donald Trump won. Kamala Harris would have been an absolute abomination. And perhaps the greatest triumph of this entire election was that so many millions of Americans blew such a resounding raspberry to every institution in this country. What a joyful noise that was. And I don't doubt that for many whites, this election renewed their faith in America.
And you see that? Back to this white thing and all of that. These people, these folks profess to be Christian. They profess to be lovers of the Lord. And then they profess to try to, they want to try to tell you about the Lord and teach you about the 10 Commandments and have the Bible taught in school when, me and the wife was talking about that. These folks want the Bible taught in public school. And, so who says that teacher or whoever's teaching is saved and filled with the Holy Spirit? Because if they teaching and they ain't saved and filled with the Holy Spirit, and you have that some secular, a person standing up there and not guided by the Spirit of God and the anointing of God to be able to teach the word anyway, is foolish. So this shows you their mindset. Their mindset is set in a worldly fashion, and they're totally lost. They know the scriptures. They know how to quote this, talk that, this or that. But their actions and their heart shows otherwise. So Nick Fuentes, him and all of these phonies out here, and all of these people that are hiding behind in the pulpit, hiding behind YouTube channels, and actuality are racist and got this society, got people looking at the church in a whole different light. Because unfortunately, what has happened, the devil has taken these types of people and moved them to the front and pushed them amongst the major platforms. And you see the Lance Winoles and all of these major people that are out there, that has been out there for months and many years for some of them, pushing this lies and making people believe that, well, is this what Christianity is about? Oh, they're going to try to make me follow the 10 Commandments. They're going to try to make me follow the good book and do what it says or else. And all of this, is this what's it about? And no wonder, as I always say, nobody wants it. Most now in today's society, you have more people falling away from the church than ever and want nothing to do with the church and want nothing to do with the Christian. You say something to somebody about a Christian, they look at you like they're they look at you like, whoa. I remember I tell you this story and I closed the video out. There's a time when I was dating before, when I was dating early on, and I, saved, and I'm trying to, navigate. And the thing was, I was so excited about the Lord, and wasn't no shame. I'm going to let somebody know, hey, I love the Lord. And as scripture says, we're not to be unequally yoked, with a non-believer. So I was looking, and you should be looking for that. For those of you that are dating, do not date somebody if they do not know the Lord. You cannot change them. Don't try to change them. They may try to change for a moment just to please you. But in reality, they need to be saved. They need to then have committed their lives to Christ. So don't link yourself up and get yourself in trouble, because a whole lot of people do that. But I remember this particular young lady, and I had mentioned to her, oh yeah, I love the Lord, and I'm a minister and things like that. And I remember her eyes got big, and she said, oh yeah, my brother's a minister and things like that. And I'm thinking like, hey, maybe we're on a good track here and things and stuff like that. But then she had this look like, I don't want to go there with you on that, because apparently some people, they don't want to. Basically, they want to, they know, none of us are perfect, but they know maybe they're not living right. Maybe they're not ready for a full-time commitment to the Lord and things like that. And hearing that, that's like intimidation. No, I ain't ready for that. I like what's going on out here in the world. I need me a worldly guy, whatever. So I'm like, hey, thought to myself, well, you go on right on out there and have fun with that. But I need somebody that loves the Lord. And so these people out here, You know, these masqueraders, you know, they're everywhere, and these racists and all of that. And I say, and as I said, let me give you one more story before I close out. I got to give you one more because, as I mentioned, it's happened. It happens within the black community, black church, and things like that as well. There was a time, my pastor, he's big on education, and he started a Bible Institute he wanted a Bible Institute to help the people expand their knowledge and things, and it was open to the community and things like that. And we were able to bring in a biblical scholar that's well known. I'm not going to say his name here. He was, for their first anniversary, we were able to get him to come in and stuff. No, it was for the graduation. That's what it was. It was for the graduation. We were able to get him to come there. And I was so ecstatic and excited that had this guy here with all this knowledge, and I was on fire and ready to learn. And me and my other classmates that was there, we were excited. And he gets up there in the church. At the time, they're looking crazy. Like, I could tell that they were like, wait a minute, why is this white guy standing up here behind the pulpit? Everyone's normally where they're a little more energetic. They were silent, and he was teaching, and we were excited, and there was so much knowledge, and I'm jotting notes down and all excited and things. But then once I realized, I said, what's wrong with these folks? Why are they acting like this? Is it because the man is white? Are you kidding me? That sickened me. And that was when I was a young in the ministry, and young as far as in my mid-20s and things. And so this thing is messed up. But now in society, though, it's been changed. As I said, it's where it is right now. This movement, this nationalist movement, and all of them, most of them, a whole lot of them, they're racist, and they think they slick, and the devil's using them to destroy the testimony of the church. Well, you know what? We're not going to allow it to happen on this channel, because we're going to expose them, and we're going to shine the light on them and continue to take the devil head on and punch him right in between the chops. Evangelism for God is the channel where we talk about the issues that the church run away from. My name is Maurice Braxton, and to the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.